Lovely to see lots of familiar faces today. Nice to be back in the zoology building. So I'm just going to give this is a Holden talk, very short, just a few slides to introduce a very embryonic organisation, the North East Scotland Mammal Network, and then I'm going to hand over to Charlotte. So I'm here today, as Martin mentioned, I have a few hats. Today I am here with my Mammal Society hat. Can I ask, can I have a show of hands who has heard of the Mammal Society before? Wow, more than I expected. Who is a member of the Mammal Society? I have a lot of work today. So I previously worked for the Mammal Society. I am now one of the trustees, and I'm also chair of the local groups committee. So within the Mammal Society, this is a very crude depiction of our current mammal groups and affiliated groups. And you can see there's a big Scotland-sized gap in that map. More questions. Who owns those prints? Shout out. No, I'm surprised. No, I thought this one would be quite easy. It's very topical. These guys. So these are actually the formerly illegal beavers in Teesside, but I think it's a really interesting time for mammals in Scotland at the moment. So we have some translocations ongoing of beaver. We now have a project in the park, a beaver project in the park, which is great. And the park has also just received a license to introduce some wildcats. We are seeing some really interesting cetacean sightings. And Ian, yes, we also twitched the orcas that day. Wandering walruses, all sorts of stuff going on. So I think it's a really interesting time in Scotland for those interested in conservation and research and just generally watching mammals. So with this in mind, I'm going to pause. This is actually quite an annoying graphic, that one. With this in mind, I thought it would be really timely to set up a mammal group. So last year I had some conversations with folk involved in mammal research, mammal conservation, mammal recorders, species-specific groups, and we had a conversation about whether we thought it was a good idea to set up a mammal group. And the answer that came back was yes. So on the back of that, we set up a small working group to take things forward, and many thanks. Thanks to that, we have now established a committee for North East Scotland's Mammal Network. So I am the chair by virtue of not stepping back quickly enough. Aileen, the lovely Aileen, is our treasurer who has been herding us cats to get our bank account set up. And we have two co-secretaries, Rochelle, who you will hear from this afternoon on her PhD work on bats, and another PhD student at SRUC, they are co-secretaries, and we have a number of other committee members. So why a network and not a mammal group? Well, as you can see, and as you will all know, there is a lot of work going on in the Northeast. So we are here, obviously, we have a record centre on our doorstep, which is fantastic. There's a lot of research going on, SRUC, Aberdeen, lots of places. There are lots of species groups that have a presence. Badgers, Saving Scotland's Red Squirrel have a very strong project here. So rather than reinventing the wheel, we thought that we would be a hub to bring all of these things together, to bring all of this knowledge together and to add value, to connect and to add value. And another reason was we felt that network was a bit more inclusive than group. So for some people, particularly maybe young people, or those from underrepresented communities, might feel group was a bit closed. So we wanted to be a lot more inclusive, to let people know that they could come in at any level, that we were a very open organisation. So these are just a few of the objectives taken from our constitution, a weighty tome, And I've mentioned some of the objectives already about being a network and about connecting people and raising awareness, but I'm just going to focus on these two middle ones. So for the first year, we're going to be about providing training opportunities related to the recording of British mammals and seeking to increase diversity among the community. Membership within the first year will be free. All events will be free. And this is to encourage as many people as possible to get involved. We will then review that after the first year, and we'll probably have to introduce a nominal membership fee to cover costs like insurance and administration and stuff. So with that in mind, that recording will be the focus for the first year, we aim to run probably between 6 and 8 events, and about half of those will be online, half will be face-to-face. Again, looking at inclusivity, those that face challenges, barriers in getting involved in different events, we want it to be accessible to everybody. And the very first one will be in conjunction with NESBReC, so it'll be camera trap training. And we will also have some back recording. And bioacoustics, as everyone knows, is a really growing field. So we're going to run some training around that. We will also have event cetacean identification, identification of hair samples of squirrels, scat samples, so a lot coming up. So do watch out. We will have a presence hopefully in the next month or two. And we will also have a basic website, a framework to advertise some of our events. If you can't wait for that and want to get in touch in the meantime, this is our email address, but please don't email me for at least a week. I'm off on holiday after today. And I just want to finish with, again, a request. So we are all volunteers, obviously, as many of these organisations are. If you want to help with social media, if you want to write some content for the website, any capacity at all, if you want to get involved, then just drop us a line. And then I'm going to pass over now to Charlotte, who has been involved in Mammal Society's University Mammal Challenge.